The Church of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary, which often called Dominican Church, was built in 1590 with funds provided by Mykola Yazlovets. Before his death in 1595, Mykola Yazlovets donated his property and funds to the Dominican monks, and they built a one-story wooden monastery near the church the same year. In 1639, a two-story stone monastery was built on the site of the old one, but it hasn't survived until our time. In 1788, with the arrival of the Austrians, the Dominican monastery was closed, and the monks moved to Chertkiv. The monastery and the church were turned into a military warehouse. In 1824, at the request of Lviv bishop, the church was given over to the local parish. And as a parish church it lasted until 1945, when the Soviet powers closed the church. Under the Soviet regime, the church was turned into a warehouse again. In 1956, a lightning struck the church, and as a result, its roof burned down. That accelerated the destruction of the architectural monuments. The church is a single-nave basilica with a pentagon apse and a three-tiered belfry tower above the porch. Earlier, the tower had a hipped roof and the nave was covered with a gable roof, crowned with a signaturka. The architecture of the church changed over time. In the 17th century, round chapels were built on both sides of the church. The apse had windows to almost the full height of the wall, and one of the windows were bricked up later. Such a light structure was reinforced by buttresses which supported the massive nave walls. In the 19th century, southeast of the church, a three-arch belfry was built. Carved stones, portals of the side and main entrances are some of the best decoration of the church. There are rare elements of the Renaissance. At first, the tower above the porch was too tired. The third tier, with the completion in the form of arcuaire and rounded corners, was completed in the 19th century. The porch has a groin vault. In 1609, a famous composer of the Renaissance, Mykola Gomulka, came to Yazlovets. Here he suddenly fell in and died on March 5th. His tombstone preserved in the porch of the church leftward. On the right there is an entrance to the belfry tower. There was the exit to the choir loft, which didn't survive. Round loopholes and narrow tower windows confirm the defensive function of the church. The tower ceilings partially collapsed or are in disrepair. From the tower windows you can see all Yazlovets. In the church nave there is an entrance to the crypt. The last two representatives of the Yazlovetsky family the founder Mykola, 1595, and his brother Jerome, 1607, were buried there. They left no descendants, and their sister Jadwiga Belzhetska became the owner of Yazlovets. So Yazlovets became the property of the Belzhetsky family. Earlier, there was a wooden choir loft gallery near the northwest wall of the nave. Now there are only thicket of wild grapes. Though the church was built in the dominant Renaissance style, of that time that Gothic frame structures of the vault were used in the constructions of the apse. In curved stone, never still hold the bulk of the vault, but bricks fill in without covering, crumbles very fast. In the altar part you can see paintings with the late 18th and early 20th centuries. On the right there is the sacristy entrance with a more modest carved portal which has a separate exit.